Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss with you a very important topic, and that is motor vehicle acts, the compensation part of motor vehicle acts. Now what is the need for this discussion? If we look into the scenario of India, we'll get to know that every single day around 1,214 accidents take place, and out of that, many die, and other they suffer grievous injuries. Out of those people, many do not have the economic, financial ability to go and get themselves treated in the hospitals. Many die there itself. Many minors whose parents die because of these accidents, they suffer. And others, they suffer lifelong injuries. We living in a democratic country have some responsibilities towards those people. We can't let a person hit a person and go away. This can't happen, and therefore, very comprehensive rules and regulations were formed under the Motor Vehicle Act. It was firstly formed in 1914, very recently. Then it was amended in 1939, and then taking the consideration of all the state governments, union territories, and taking into consideration the different cases and judgments of Supreme Court. A very comprehensive Motor Vehicle Act was formed in 1988, which came into force in 1989. And finally, 2 years back in 2019, it was again amended. Such a comprehensive Motor Vehicle Act we have. And therefore, we should make ourselves aware and know about the different provisions and how it can help us. One of the very useful part of it is compensation part. Section 161 of Motor Vehicle Act covers the compensation part. It says that whenever there's a hit and run case is when one person hit another one, a motor vehicle hits another motor vehicle, and the identity of that motor vehicle stays unknown. We try to find that out, but we don't become successful in that. Still, living in a democratic country, the party who is hit, someone has to compensate to that. And therefore the provisions of compensations are there. And Section 161 says that in case of death of that party, minimum rupees 5 lakhs will be the compensation, and that can go up. And in the case of grievous injuries are those injuries which are covered in the Section 320 of IPC, which can be the loss of hearing, the loss of sight, and if a person suffered huge amount of pain and is not able to work for around 20 days or something, that accounts to grievous injury. So in the cases of grievous injury, a minimum of 50,000 will be the compensation, and that compensation can go ahead and the central government can decide upon it. There is a provision of punishment if a person do not comply with this section, and that punishment is imprisonment, and that can go up to 20 years, along with or monetary penalties of minimum rupees 25,000. Now coming on to the next part, and that is Section 163. It says, as law says, one person cannot be punished for one single crime twice. In a very similar way, a person cannot claim two compensations for one single accident. And if the person did so, the person has to refund that compensation. Now, coming to the Section 164, it again talks about the compensation, but here, the insurance companies has to pay the compensation. According to Section 164, in the case of death that had occurred out of motor vehicle accident, a compensation of 5 lakh rupees is there. And in case of grievous injury, a compensation of 2.5 lakh is there. But this compensation is fixed. Now, going on to claims tribunal. So what are tribunals? See, Supreme Court and High Court, they cannot take all the cases, and therefore, for different kinds of crimes, different courts are set up. Like we have environmental tribunals to look into the nature matters. Similarly, we have claim tribunal to look into the matters of motor vehicle accidents. So now, who are the heads of this particular tribunal? A person who have the qualification to be a high court judge can become a member of this tribunal, and we have a chairman in this tribunal. Now the question arises: who can file for the compensation? First, the aggrieved party, and second, the legal heirs of that aggrieved party, be the minors, etc. Now, if a person is not happy with the compensations or with the decisions of claim tribunal, be it the insurance party or the aggrieved party, then they can go to the High Court within 90 days of the final decision. Another very important thing is we can file for compensation under any of the section within 6 months of the accident. So this all for today. We should make sure that we keep ourselves safe and do not drive safely, so that we do not hit anyone and do not become a victim also. At the same time, we should make ourselves very much aware about the different laws that are there, because they are made for us. We should make use of them. We shouldn't stay ignorant.